Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Watches and Style channel. This is your host, Young Brando. We are coming to the end of a beautiful day in Los Angeles, and tonight we are going to talk about Rolex's acquisition of their historic dealer, Bucherer. Some of you might remember this was a landmark deal from last year in August. And for many, it's announced a very important and perhaps immediate transition in terms of Rolex's way of doing business. But you had heard it here first, and I was very careful in trying to tell everyone that Rolex always moves at a glacial pace. And even with the immediate prospect of acquiring such an important, such a significant, such a global network of their own authorized dealers, which obviously sells also the watches of many of their competitors, including their hometown rivals, Omega. Everyone was saying some stuff about how Rolex is going to quickly move to a boutique model, establishing their exclusive boutiques through this network, or in fact, perhaps in a nightmare scenario for some of their competitors and antitrust authorities, converting immediately some of these authorized dealers, some of these Bucherer, Tourneau, and other branches into Rolex exclusive boutiques. I have told you that this was not going to happen. I have also told you that by and large, this was something good for the industry. It was something that was recognized as a positive good by the industry. Breitling CEO Georges Kern at the time came out and, in fact, congratulated both Bucherer and Rolex on this particular deal, which once again was announced in a press release in the late August of 2023. And it took us until now to get the official confirmation that the deal actually went through. We will go for the details just in a minute, and how we have learned of the finalization of the confirmation of this deal. But let's focus on what happened immediately. This deal made sense for Bucherer because Jörg Bucherer, I think the third generation heir to the family business, did not actually have any descendants to whom he could pass on this business. And to him, the closest thing to that and the best way of honoring that legacy was, in fact, going into an even deeper partnership, a merger, as it were, with Rolex. Jörg Bucherer actually was, before his passing last November, yes, merely a few months after this deal was signed, he was the last businessman to have actually met Hans Wirsdorf, Rolex's founding father, when he was still alive. So it was, I believe, on November 11th when Jörg Bucherer passed away, and it was merely a few months after they had signed a deal to sell the family business to Rolex. which was an acquisition estimated to be worth around 4 billion Swiss francs. Now, I have actually learned of the finalization of this takeover, of this acquisition, from one of my recent favorites on the little pockets of social media that we have here. It's a magazine called Coronet, very fittingly. They largely report on issues related to Rolex, as might be quite clear to you from the title. I believe it is run by a gentleman who actually is also working for the production of the Rolex magazine, the official Rolex magazine. I will continue to offer my reactions and comments on some of the contents that he posts. Stay tuned for that. I have a video that will come out right after this one on the faces of Rolex watches on Rolex dials, because he did an interview with a dial expert at Rolex earlier. So Coronet, you can find them on Instagram at Coronet Mag, and the website is actually, I believe, spelled in this unique way, coron.et, but there should be a link which would lead you on the Instagram accounts. But this is a news piece that the Coronet published on July 21st. Bucherer employees to get bonus as Rolex takeover is approved. And it basically tells us that both Swiss and more broadly European antitrust authorities have finally removed all hurdles to Rolex's acquisition of Bucherer. The final approval apparently came from the European competition authorities and the Swiss Competition Commission, COMCO, just in the second week of July. So everything is greenlit and ready to be finalized at the end of this month, this July. Remember, again, almost a whole year to the date after this purchase was announced by Rolex itself. Again, it should give you an idea about how slowly these things move, how these things operate, since there are so many moving pieces at a glacial pace. So you should always think twice when some fool online on one of these YouTube channels with larger followings tell you that, oh, Rolex is ramping up production, Rolex is doing this, Rolex is doing that, and it's going to affect the market like this right away. That's never true. So this is a very important example, and we are learning finally from an internally circulated memo at Bucherer that everything is ready to go and greenlit, going effective at the end of July, because they are actually giving bonuses to their employees, to the Bucherer employees. If they were on the payroll by the end of 2023, they will receive a bonus between half a month's salary and 1.5 months' salary, based on longevity, based on seniority. And this letter, this memo, was in fact signed by the CEO Guido Zumbühl and Urs Mühlebach. And Dr. Mühlebach is a member of the board at Bucherer, and as it happens, the executor of Jörg Bucherer's will. Jörg Bucherer's wealth before the sale to Rolex was estimated at 2 billion Swiss francs, and now sources in Lucerne estimate it is triple that. And that's why technically people have come up with that number, that Rolex's purchase of Bucherer must have been around 4 billion Swiss francs. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already for watch-related content. I have something new for you. I have something historical for you, something fascinating for you, something of a deep dive almost every day here at Young Brando on YouTube and on Instagram as well at young.brando. So make sure to follow me there as well. I would love to hear your opinions. I would love to respond to your questions and continue this conversation in the comments below. So feel free to express your opinion in whatever way you choose. I welcome all of it. This is the internet after all. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, wear and enjoy your Rolex watches. Stay tuned for the video on Rolex dials.